Slaves are out working. That's what was stuck in my head. Hello, greetings. Today it's Uncle Jerry's rendition of Willie Nelson's I've Seen All This World I Care to See. This video is for Jacob Gregory, Jason Laycock, Freddie Squire, Chris Ferrara, Luis E., and Kevin. But before we see any more of the world, I would like to take a moment to thank the following people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club: Eric Menard, John Shields, and Corey Schmidt. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your support. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, the link, of course, is in the description. Oh, but Jerry Cantrell is involved, so the first thing, of course, you have to do if you're going to play along with the recording is your guitar needs to go one half step down. So instead of E, you'll have E flat or D sharp. Instead of A, you will have A flat or G sharp. D becomes D flat or C sharp. G becomes G flat or F sharp. B becomes B flat or A sharp. And E, just like the other E string, becomes E flat or D sharp. Congratulations, your guitar is now tuned one half step down. Also, I made you a lyric and chord sheet. This song just wasn't fitting into my brain. I needed to make it for myself, so why not share it with you? It is 100% free, no strings attached. Just go to my website, RyanLStudios.com. Show notes, but the title, of course, is in super secret backwards code, so no ne'er-do-wells can horn in on our super secret information. The opposite of seeing things is, of course, tasting things. So if you'd like to taste a whole bunch more stuff, rather than not caring to taste anything more, you'd go to an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. That's what you're looking for, all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. We're gonna start on a D suspended 2, that's D with no middle finger, and there is a particular plucking pattern here, a P cubed, but it's kind of wonky, so I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm going to encourage you to pluck or strum it however comes natural to you. I'm gonna pluck it however I just kind of usually do stuff. But here it is, D sus2, and D, B, G, followed by D, E, B, G. You're gonna do that twice. D, B, G, D, E, B, G, D, B, G, D, E, B, G, which if you were counting only adds up to 14. This is music, we have to be divisible by 4, so we need 2 plucks thrown on the end there, and they are D, B. D, B, G, D, E, B, G, D, B, G, D, E, B, G, D, B. I'm gonna do it without talking. Take 932. Good enough. All right, so you got your D suspended 2 going. I'm just going to call it D for syllabic efficiency. I'm going to try to stick to the pattern, but I'm sure I'll lose it. D. And now A7. There's bunches of ways to play A7, but the one in question is going to be D2 with your pointer finger, B2 with your, I'm going to use my middle finger, and baby E3. This A7's neat. It's got 2 G's in it instead of just 1, so I call this A super 7. But you should never do that in public. Nobody says that except for that guy. But here's what he's talking about. All major chords, A7 is a major chord, are made up of the 1, the 3, and the 5 from their major scale, which is to say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, beginning on the letter that is the chord. So the A major scale is thusly A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. A 7 chord, weirdly, uses a note that's not in that scale. It's the note that becomes in between the 6 and the 7, in this case, G. So if we look at our A super 7 chord, it's A on the open A string, that's our 1. We've got E on the D string 2nd fret, that's our 5. Then comes G on the open G string, that's our note that comes in between 6 and 7. And then we've got C sharp on the B string 2nd fret, that's our 3rd, and yet another G on the E string 3rd fret. So you see, it doesn't matter if that's E or G, because we already have an E and a G. And it doesn't matter if that would be G or A if we included the other one, because we'd have all the requisite notes. This is an A7 chord with 2 Gs, definitely not at all called A super 7. The gall. Back to D. Here's the verse. to our special A chord. Stay on the A chord, line 2, and D. One more time, D. Special A chord. Stay there. And D. That's the verse. When we get to the last line of the second verse, so many people, so alone, it's your A7. So alone. Now, in parentheses, I have D, D sharp. In lowercase, that's to indicate it's just notes. D is the open D string. D sharp is the D string first fret. And we're sliding into an E major chord. That's a nice little chromatic walk. You see your ring finger when you play E is on the D string second fret. So you got open 1, 2 happening when you do that. E, A7. Loveless Gardens. Back to E. Strummier here, A7, and now it chills out to D, fields of hate and greed, G, surround me, our special A chord, G, and this is where it hits really hard on that E. And you'll see I've written wacky fill there, it's pretty wacky. A string second fret, third fret, D string second fret, B string third fret, open E, junk strum, focus on the B and the G strings, into an E chord. And you get 5 beats of E before you do the wacky fill again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it happens on 6. I find it very helpful to count. It's a strange division of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then at some point at the very end, we're going to go into A instead of E. And that ends that section, followed by the D, D sharp, into the Seeds That Thrive section. And so on. And that pretty much does it at the end. Instead of being A7, seen all this G, I care to E, it's just A7 and G over and over again as the song fades out. Seen all this world I care to see. To A7. Make sure to play more quietly with these pens. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.